Hey, so this will help you with your Friday quiz um, from 225. Actually, it's just quiz 225, so that means that we probably had Friday off that week and we had this quiz on a Thursday. So it's just quiz 225 on Google Classroom. It'll be on the post for February 25th. And I'm going to go over how to do each question. So if you want to watch this video as you're taking the quiz, that's absolutely fine. You should be able to retake the quiz, but if it's not letting you, just let me know and I can resend you that quiz. Okay, so like I said, it's not going to be the exact same questions and answers that I'm going over that's on the quiz, but it's going to be the same steps. So it might be helpful to watch it as you go. That way you kind of have like video notes to walk you through how to do each question. So question 1 and 2. It's just reading coordinates. And the important thing to remember about those coordinates is first you're going to read your x-axis, so the ones that go from left to right, and then you're going to go the line that goes up and down, or the y-axis. All right, so let's say I have a point that is at right here. I'll go over one more example that is right here. Okay. So let's say we're looking for the coordinates of this point. First, I'm going to look at my y-axis, or the numbers that go this way. And I'm going over 2. So I know my answer is going to be 2. Sorry, that's a crappy 2. My screen moved. 2, comma. Now I got to figure out where it lands on my y-axis. And I'm going up 4. So then it's just going to be 4. So my answer is 2, comma, 4. Same thing with this one over here. I have to first read my x-axis, then read my y-axis, except the numbers are negative. And that doesn't change anything. We just got to make sure that we record them as negative. Okay, so first doing my y-axis, I'm going over -1, comma, and I'm going down to -3. And that should help you out with number 1 and 2. Number 3, you're using an equation to find slope. Okay. And we kind of worked with this thing called slope-intercept form, and that's when your equation looks something like this. Y equals some number times x plus or minus another number. If it's in that form, that means it's in slope-intercept form, and you don't have to do any work besides looking at the equation in order to find the slope or the y-intercept. The slope would just be the number in front of the x, and the y-intercept would be the number and the sign. That's at the very, very end where this b is. Just going to shorten it up to intercept. Okay. So let's say your equation looks something like this for number 3. Y equals -2x plus 5. We're looking for that number in front of the x because it's already in slope-intercept form, and that is -2. So your answer is just -2. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay. Number 4 asks you to use the equation to find the y-intercept. Same thing. I'm going to just use the same one. Except we're looking for the stuff at the very, very end. So let's say your equation looks something like this. Y equals 5x minus 12. We're looking for the number and the sign at the very, very end of our equation. So our number and sign is just this minus 12 right here. So your answer is minus 12. That's the y-intercept. And y-intercept just means that if we were to graph the points and our x is 0, the y would be at -12. So our point would look something like that. Slope just means how much it's going up by, or like the change of the line. So it's going up 1 and over 2. Our slope would look something like that. Okay, last one. So sometimes mathematicians are mean and they don't give you the equation in slope-intercept form. And they give you this big long equation and they're like, haha, good luck. Try to figure out the slope and intercept using just the equation from this complicated formula that I gave you. So if you get something like this that's on your quiz, that might look exactly like what you have on your quiz for that very, very last one, number 5. First thing you're going to do is solve for y. So you're going to try to get this y by itself, and you're going to do that through inverse operation, and that just means doing the opposite of what's there. Think of it kind of like the solving for x, the two-step equations, except instead of solving for x, we're solving for y. So the first thing that we need to do is get rid of this 7. And the opposite of plus 7 is minus 7. When I do that, those are going to cancel out. But in order to keep my equation balanced, if I do it to this side, I have to do it to this side. So now I need to do 14 minus 7, and that is just 7. And here's what I have left on this equation so far, 8x plus y. All right, I need to get this y by itself, but this 8x is kind of in the way, so I'm going to do the opposite of adding 8x, and I'm going to minus 8x. 8x minus 8x is just 0, so that's why those cancel out. But if I do it to this side, I have to do it to this side to make sure the equation stays balanced. So I have y equals 7 minus 8x. And because I'm a social studies teacher teaching math, I'm going to count this as slope-intercept form. But if you wanted to get real fancy, you would just move this minus 8x in front of the 7. And your answer could be minus 8x. Because this is a positive 7, there would just be a plus in front of it, plus 7. But this answer works just fine. If you have any questions, let me know. Remember, you are allowed to resubmit your answers, and I will take your high score as your final score. See you later.